This is Sam. He's an on-set photographer taking tons of great behind-the-scene photos. The only problem is his camera can be a little distracting. Never fear, Sam. You just need a Soundblimp, a device that can muffle that pesky, noisy shutter. You can find them online at, whoa, that is quite a price tag. How about we just build one ourselves? The DIY Soundblimp for under $75. Here's what you'll need. A small sheet of plexiglass, some extra foam, luckily we had some lying around, a piece of PVC pipe that's wider than your lens, some black spray paint, a waterproof case, your camera, and a remote shutter release. I'm using my intervalometer that I already had. First off, we're going to find the center of our case, and using the cap to our spray paint, which just happened to be the exact size of our lens, we're going to make a guide that we will then cut out using our Dremel tool with a cutting bit. Once you have it roughly cut, use a sanding bit to make the hole much smoother. Next, trace your camera so that way you can use it as a guide to cut the appropriate shape into the protective and muffling foam. Make sure that the holes in both line up. Now we're going to make a viewing space on the back of the case, so cut the appropriate shape on the back to give yourself access to the digital screen as well as the viewfinder on your camera. Make sure you also cut into the foam so that way nothing will block your screen. Then measure how much plexiglass you will need, cut the excess off and place it inside the case. Glue it in all four corners to keep it from rattling around. We're going to need a way to activate the camera once it's in its protective and quiet shell, so we'll drill a hole in the side of the case and then feed the cable from the intervalometer to the camera. That way we'll be able to activate the shutter. Now because the lens needs to be muffled as well, we're going to first paint our PVC pipe in the ventilated outdoors. We painted ours black to match our case. Turned out the piece that we got was a little too big, so we just cut out what we needed for our lens. Now we will line the PVC pipe with some of the foam that we had lying around and glue the foam in place with our hot glue gun. Make sure to let the glue dry and do not glue this piece into the casing. It needs to be free floating so that way we can still use the zoom on our lens. Lastly, I added some Velcro on the intervalometer and the casing and attached the camera straps right to the case for an easy way of carrying this thing around. Time to take this puppy for a test ride. And voila, an inexpensive way to muffle your camera for film and TV sets for those sneaky behind-the-scenes shots.